You gonna turn the car off or just leave it running? What a great yard. Oh my gosh. And here comes the attack dog, huh?
You knew all these people. What's your manner?
A lot of times people say, why do people have a swimming pool and a pond? Because it's two different lifestyles.
No, so we swim here and the ducks swim in the pool.
Hey, I like this guy even more. Do a pond tour, so let's explain this to me a little bit.
Our pond tour that we have annually, along with Aquascapes, the International Water and Garden Showcase.
That's right. And this is fantastic. So we're about to see another Aquascape ecosystem water feature. I'm Greg Wittstock, the pond guy. I'm traveling with the whole Landvista team today. What a great yard. Oh my gosh. So when did you guys build this one?
We didn't build the pond.
It's 15-year-old pond.
Hey, pup. Joe is a gymnast.
He has a rope there.
Holy cow! You got a rope back there? You're a gymnast, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Try to keep in shape.
Hey,
All
let's
right.
see if we can get Greg to climb the rope or the bars.
Do you have to ask twice? I'm there. Here we go. Boy, it's been a long time since I've climbed a rope. I don't know if I have the right equipment on to climb it, but I can do this. I've done rope climbs before. This is awesome. You think those two trees will support me? Okay. All right, Joe, do you want to show me what to do?
Since I have a right rotator cuff tear,
Oh,
I've been
okay.
doing it for about a month and a half.
All right, so is there a debate that if I can do this or not?
Oh no. I saw you
Can I go
set a
live
little
on
record.
Facebook?
I'm good.
Sure, go ahead.
Go live?
So it's like 20 feet tall or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that tree sway.
Holy cow. And I got no traction.
That's what it is. Not
There you
bad, not
go.
bad. Take it.
That seems pretty easy.
Nice?
That's nice.
Oh, that's a little bit of a rope burn.
Not bad, not bad.
Yay!
Tell me the story of your pond.
A long time ago, I was getting rid of some trees, large pine trees that are literally up against the house and doing damage to the deck and so forth. And so I had a backhoe from work. I'm a builder. I was helping take down the trees, and I called my wife at work. I said, would you like a little pond in the backyard?
When was this?
Before or after she got the divorce papers out.
Oh, no.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Okay, good. You're still married.
She pictured a little pond like here, maybe 8-10 feet in diameter.
Uh-huh.
She came home, there was a big hole in the ground. She freaked out. She says, fill it in, fill it in. And now she's in love with this.
Isn't that awesome?
That's how it happened, except I didn't do a very good job. And then, of course, met Lisa and Ray and their company, and they helped make it the way it is now.
So what did you guys do here?
Well, we added 2 skimmers,
Okay.
new pumps, and we redid the waterfall completely because there was chipmunk damage and everything. So we added concrete cloth underneath there to protect it.
Yeah, because in an area wooded like this, you're going to have a lot of rodents. So you put concrete cloth. So we actually have concrete cloth that we actually put underneath the visible liner on the back side of it, right?
Correct.
So the chipmunks can't get through. And then what a beautiful big pond though. Got the skimmer right here, frogs jumping in. Build it and they will come. That's nature.
A lot of times they hide in here too.
These frogs didn't come on their own. We visited a Chinese restaurant. Those were all slated to be.
Are you serious?
In Philadelphia, 9th and Race, I can buy a dozen large frogs in a box that he keep in the refrigerator. Of course, you know, they serve them, or, you know, they eat the legs. So I rescued 24 frogs every season and put them in the pond. And
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them will winter over.
Yeah. And you got a swimming pool I see over there.
Yeah.
A lot of times people say, why do people have a swimming pool and a pond? Because it's two different lifestyles.
No, so we swim here and the ducks swim in the pond.
Hey, I like this guy even more. This is my kind of guy. That's absolutely right. That was your first build of your parents?
It was, yeah. I had been on like the smaller builds before they completely converted over.
But you were talking about how when you put the concrete cloth down there and then the liner, you just go with one piece of liner instead of cutting it so that it's all...
Yeah, we did like steps and everything, so we had the whole height and everything. We put down the concrete cloth. But instead of doing 2 separate liners, one for each of the biofalls, we actually did one whole liner. And then instead of going crazy with foaming it and making it watertight, the center actually gets water trickling through there so that all the ground cover actually...
So there'll never be a leak.
Exactly. Yeah, that whole thing is all watertight.
Smart. So Lisa, what were you telling me about these fish here?
So this is one of the rescue collections that I brought in and treated, and then Joe adopted.
Oh, okay.
And
okay. So these are some New Year fish this year, Joe, huh?
They are, and I love them.
So you trying to catch a frog in the net now?
I'm going to try. But
So these are the frogs that you saved from the Chinese restaurant, huh? About how many are in here?
probably about a dozen, believe it or not, but they're really good at hiding.
So what do you think it was, Joe, about the water feature that your wife, you know, all of a sudden went from not wanting it to loving it?
First of all, this is really interesting, the sound.
Uh-huh.
It's so peaceful, and you don't hear it when it's running, but you notice when it's off. If you're, cleaning it, or let's say we have
It's the background sound.
Exactly.
It's white sound. Uh-huh.
When it's not running, you hear it, and it attracts birds, it attracts, different kinds of wildlife and animals, and every now and then you'll see, especially around dusk, when it gets later, you'll see a raccoon come down, or an opossum, and it's really...
And they don't mess with the fish, though, do they?
These are too large, I think, for the raccoons, some of them.
And they're not river otters, so this pond is at least 8 feet wide and 8 feet across, and this pond's plenty bigger than that. The raccoons won't mess with them. Now, you still have a problem with the blue heron from time to time, but that's why we have things like fish caves and water lilies and whatnot.
At least 2
fish caves,
fish tunnels, or fish caves, and the fish will use them. They'll absolutely use them.
So there's one of the big bullfrogs right there. I can see him sitting on the log. So this is one of the guys that you saved from the Chinese restaurant, huh? Yeah. There he is. So what's that about the frogs you said?
At night, when it starts to become dusk, that's when they start their sounds, and they're croaking, and you'll hear half a dozen of them at a time talking to one another. It's very interesting.
So she enjoys it now just as much as you, huh?
Oh, it's a little oasis. It's so wonderful.
So what would you say to somebody that's considering getting an aquascape ecosystem? Why should they do it?
Lisa got me off of my dependency of Algae Fix.
Okay, so he was using a chemical. So talk about that, Lisa. Algae Fix is a chemical that kills the algae, but then the algae nutrients stay in the water. Yes. So you put her on, she put you on natural bacteria, right?
Absolutely. And that's been a blessing. I don't really have to do much except maybe, what is that material in a little jar you give me?
Bacteria.
Bacteria, yeah.
You just add bacteria in there?
Dry bacteria.
That helps a lot.
Yep, and if you didn't even want to do that, which obviously you're a hands-on guy, you can put an automatic auto doser in there that will add it for you. But you know what? The water quality is fantastic.
And the other thing that's interesting too is how efficient the water falls, and you have to help me with the name of what builds up in there. You said it's good.
It's good bacteria.
Good bacteria that builds up, and it naturally, look how clear the water is comparatively.
Yes.
A pond should never be 100% clear, but this is very nice.
It's an ecosystem,
yes.
But when you have an established ecosystem like this, you don't want to use chemicals because chemicals will kill the ecosystem where bacteria builds it up. You find that a lot with people?
Yeah.
It's just an education process, right?
It definitely is an education process, and just explaining that we're just trying to mimic the Mother Nature, and sometimes you just need a little patience. And
so how long did you have the pond before Landvista came and rebuilt it?
Probably about 4 or 5 years, I'm guessing.
And so now you've had it for about 10 more years?
Yeah.
And has it been night and day in terms of the maintenance and the quality?
Oh, absolutely. Plus, mine was ugly. I had cemented like rocks around, like almost like a border.
Sure.
It's not natural.
It's not natural, and that's one of the things about this is, you have some stones, you have some grasses that will hang over, beautiful Japanese maple to soften up the edges, the ground covers. You don't want to know where the water ends and the land begins. Let's go. Big rocks, beautiful seating area. I bet you spent a few hours in that chair over there.
It is so nice and peaceful. Read, cup of coffee in the morning on a weekend. The other thing that they suggested, and what was wonderful, was the trees in the background.
Backdrop.
It gave it dimension. Or it seems like somebody just plunked it there. It doesn't look that way anymore.
So Lisa, about 60 to 70% of your work is rebuilds of existing water features, isn't it?
it is.
And it's because they weren't built with an ecosystem approach. So they're high maintenance, and it's not nearly as enjoyable for the consumer.
Absolutely. Or you have pond owners like Joe himself and his wife Fran that have been pond owners, and they need a basically an upgrade. And that's what we came in and did, an upgrade in the filtration, 2 new skimmers, pumps that could handle a little bit more of the debris load.
Yeah, because there are a lot of trees.
I love the baskets in this system too.
Yeah, show us that. We'll go ahead and show us that.
So easy.
You can just close the weir door and lift it up. There's all the debris ready to go out in a skimmer basket.
That is a blessing.
Amen. Open up the rear door, opens back up.
That is a nice feature.
Yeah,
The older ones I have are so cumbersome and inefficient.
it's like having somebody cut your lawn for you and you empty the bag.
Exactly.
So what I love about this is, here's an old pond that the homeowner built. They loved it, but when Lisa and Ray came in and they rebuilt it, it became a beautiful, low-maintenance aquascape ecosystem, working with Mother Nature, not against her. A certified aquascapes contractor motto is ponds done right, customers served right. If you have an existing water feature and you want it to look like this, check out the link below to find a certified aquascapes contractor in your area. I love my art.